Hello. I'm just tired, irritated, think people are stupid. Um, I must admit, I laughed when I saw because Lauren, and BL, brutally Lauren. She said that they made a funny video about Eli, and I had to see it, because Eli, he's so cringe. He's just, but he never hurt me, you know. He never did anything bad to me. So to ruin his life, that would be ridiculous. Laugh at him once or twice or 20 times. That's okay because you laugh at a person and you think it's funny, you know. But to ruin a person's life, that's something totally different. To spit on a father's grave, that's stupid. That's dumb. And I hate when dumb people try to make them smart by saying they have this education, they have this education. Um, there was once, and I like the way he said, "Oh, people who followed me before." Listen here, we are also people. We get over you. You know who I'm talking about. It's a big fat beast who live in the mountains. I have nothing against him. I don't like his racist attitude at all because I think he is a racist, but I don't know. I can't say. But come on, man. Go live and say everybody is stupid and everybody's after you and nobody talks about you anymore. You're not that important, JB Gunner. Look, I don't care if I got 0 in the box, 10 in the box, 100 in the box. That's the same. I don't care if there's 1 I gotta play for, 10,000 I gotta play for, or 20,000. Same shit. But this I do only for fun and only because I think what you did talk about, and you did that, and you did this, and you did that, and everybody else is just bullshit. Somebody said, yo, he kicks your ass all the time, every day. Why don't you talk about them? Why don't you talk about that? Would get you on a higher level. You don't make half what Tommy is making. You don't. I know that for a fact. And you don't even make what I make. Kind of laughable. But I pay taxes, and I'm proud to pay my taxes because I live in a welfare country. Can you say the same? No, you can't because you don't. We're one of the few welfare countries left. I'm not saying the United States is a bullshit country because I want to live there myself. But I'm just saying this is a welfare country. This is a place where people, sacks of shit, who don't want to work, love to live because they can. And that's what I hate about it. That's why I want to move. It's not just their fault. That's not the reason. The reason is that I would love to live in the United States. I would love to try out. But here one always be better than you can't always be better than everybody. That's weird to think that about you. I'm better than you in every sense. I'm better than you in if take Tommy Sotomayor instead. Take Hassan Campbell instead. Take some of the big YouTubers. Why don't you do that? It's easy to take one who's down. Okay, you can take me in a job, in a real job, not YouTube hobby job, a real job, job. Maybe you can turn some burgers, while I play for like 10,000 people and earn a lot of money, where you will earn nothing because you can't do shit outside of YouTube. You have this big IQ, but no one has ever seen it. JB, you make people tired. You do. You make people tired. That's fuck. See, I don't even have anybody and I still talk. I don't care if I am. You think I'm a fuck up because I don't have 100 in the box. And that's the only thing you can talk about. You see, why not talk about you got hit by COVID so many times? Don't you think that's weird? And you went away to the mountains? See, I live in an apartment right now to 10 million kronas. That's about $2 million. And though she's trying to make it that I live in a homeless shelter, when I can go out here, I can go in, I can take everything the fuck I want. I can go in the big TV arrangement where there's literally a home, yeah, home, you know what I mean, home theater. I can sit and play PlayStation on a home theater. You know what I mean? I'm not that afraid of being a fuck up. I don't care. I don't care. You can call me find. I don't know what you call him in English. In English, the guy who needs to find. You can call me that guy. I don't care. I could have a red and white T-shirt on or a red and white uh, sweatshirt that my grandma, was fucking made for me. I don't care. This is only this is only because I was once a hip hop guy and I do have a lot of hip hop paraphernalia, I do have a lot of old school books with wild style graffiti and all that shit. Oh no, it's called Subway Art actually. Sorry. But it's the same as I say. Sorry. I play better guitar than you. I play better piano than you do. I play better bass than you do. I play better drums than you do. I play better saxophone than you do. I play better keyboards than you do. I play better congas than you do. I play better drums than you do. I play better percussion than you do. I play better. I can play fucking. I can continue. I can play this shit. What can you do? You can't even make food, man. I've seen you buy that nacho cheese. How the fuck disgusting are you, man? You see, you don't have style. You don't have style. This guitar you see on the screen costs more than you fucking one of your fucking what do you call them? Video games. Believe me, it's a guitar from '67. So believe me. And the sad thing about it is, I lost it. And you can laugh at that. Just laugh because you think things like that is funny. You are a weird man. But it doesn't matter. There's weird people everywhere. And I knew you were weird from the get go. But JB, I got nothing against you actually. But I just think it's easy to bash on the on the guys like me. But I don't try to get cash apps or donations or beg for money or I just need this for like this and this so I can buy this microphone. I'm not those. If I was those, I would write a lot in the comic section, a lot of names and a lot of that bullshit. But I am not DOSE. You see, I literally am not. I try not to be that piece of fucking shit. Because, when people, they try to be good on other people's behalf, that just tells you, oh my God, what a douchebag. Because, Doc, he feels good inside. Tommy feels good inside. I know that for a fact because I talk to them on a daily basis. And my hours is fucked up compared to theirs. That's why, and I made this an American channel. I did that from the get go. And people not coming over here, that is just what it is. I'm not getting mad about it or saying if you don't some bullshit, you know what I mean? And sometimes I don't know how to explain my anger and my frustration about people talking about how many there is in the box and how important it is. See, I see Cyril right now, and I don't care. Don't I still talk? I talk, but a lot find this very uneducational, and that's okay. It's okay. I don't care, you know, because I'm here, and when I say fuck you, I could say fuck you to everybody, because what could they do? The people I'm referring to is living on the other side of the. Is it a sphere or is it a round? Is it a flat Earth or what is it? Come on, people. I have my belief. I think it's a sphere. I think it's a round. Fucking. It have a. It's like to this side a little. It's like standing this now when it was standing this before. True shit. And if you see a flat Earth uh, card, you see Greenland is hilarious big, hilarious. And the real thing is that Greenland is bigger than Australia on a card. But how can you explain to me that Greenland can lie in Australia like lots of times? But flat earthers still say that it's the right. That is how it looks. But that's stupid when it's been already been checked out, It is fucking hilarious. Because when you don't, when it's not round, when you put it out, it looks like it's bigger. You have to look at the. That's why you have the. I don't know what they call it in English. How you say where it is, where exactly it is, and shit like that. That's why we have the point, so you can figure it out. Because Greenland can literally lie in Australia like I think it's 6 or 7 times or something like that. So come on, man. There, I just debunked you. Here you go. What do you want to say to that? You can't say anything because that would be stupid. It's not just how you say it is. It's just not how it is. It's just not how it is. And it's just how it is. But I was here. I was a little mad. I must admit that. I have to admit that. I get a little mad when people they they breed on the weak. It's like a spider. Um, it's like it makes no sense. It makes no sense to pick on the weakest one. That's being a bully. A bully is always going after the weak. That's the definition of a bully. So, what are the people who will know that they're going after a man that got half the intelligence that he got? Half, he's afraid of kids for God's sake. And yeah, he's a fuck up. I know that. I know he did a lot of fuck shit. But so did you. So did you all. Come on. They were making cartoons about him and Clark Ethan and all that shit. You know how it was, man. And even though when we got a Shangy just up in Canada, making all kind of, we got those running around saying all kind of weird things. Kwame Brown, Kwame Brown. And Kwame have now I've seen Kwame Brown. He's such a nice man, man. He's a good dude. Why the fuck would he fuck around with those? He's an NBA player, those. Why should he fuck around with you? Why? Why should Hassan Campbell talk to you? When you use every opportunity to put their name in your fucking mouth, you are a like a tick. You suck blood. You, sir, you are the agent. You are the fraud. You are everything. Cause hey, didn't you get caught with a lot of fucking? You see, I'm an addict. Those. I'm an old kingpin. Those. No, I'm not a kingpin, but I sold drugs in a kind of a big scale once. I was not a kingpin. Nobody who says there is a kingpin is a kingpin. So what I mean by that is a guy who's got that much would never talk. So those see, I have kilos and shit like that before. I don't give a fuck. So those what you say you smack people like me around? How could you do that? I'm like I'm like 190. That's like six. Hi Jimmy. Jeg sidder lige i en stream.
Okay.
Ja, kan vi ringe til dig lige om lidt?
Jo, selvfølgelig.
Okay, jeg ringer til dig lige om
Okay.
lidt.
Ja, hej.
Hej. See, that's real life when it's coming to business. That's like, I know, I know StreamYard. StreamYard is learning me how to use this because I don't know how to use shit. I just wanted to say to all you that are living on other people, you're ticks. You're like ticks, man. You're nothing else. Can you talk about the music you like? Um, Something that happened in your real life. Like when I talk about, there's a lot of things I can't talk about. I can't show. I can't make my real show right now because the living conditions is what it is. When you live in an apartment that's being sponsored by uh, one of the richest man ever to live in Denmark, that's the truth. That's the truth. So you see, I don't care when I fell asleep on Tommy's live yesterday. I really didn't care. Okay. And Roximus, you're right. Maybe that's why the musicians don't call me up anymore. But I'm old. I'm tired. If I have to sleep, you see, you got to know there's a 6 hours difference. You don't understand that. You're just thinking, man, he looks high. You just That's just what you're thinking. You're weird. No, not Roximus. He's a good guy. He was giving me the heads up and shit. He wasn't being real about it. He was not just fucking being stupid around me, you know. Roximus is a good dude. I like Roximus. And that's the truth. Um, See, people, there's no one here because I know it's like 7 o'clock in the United States. It's not just time to watch YouTube. But this should be a morning show in the United States. You see what I mean? This should be when they go to work. They should sit this on instead of, but they're used to their radio. Of course, they're used to that. Of course, they're used to that. We are used to that here in Denmark. We listen to radio when we go to work. Something you'll never understand. Those, all you rest, bottom feeding, fucking idiots who live by other people's money. It's weird. So do I, but it's literally salary. Look, I have nothing bad to say about these people other than don't make fun of other people when you're doing exactly the same as they do. Don't call a person an idiot when you're doing exactly the same shit as he's doing. It's weird and it's stupid to hear some of some of your more unrealistic, let's say that word. It's just like what the fuck, man. Sometimes I'm literally in shock. I'm just thinking, why? Because in our sector, hey, two flat drummer, yeah, hey, good morning. Yeah, I have a good morning because we have something we have to do here where I live. I live in a kind of a not a shelter. That would be a fine shelter. It's an apartment for 10 millions or something like that. But we have you just have to say good morning to people and shit like that. It's okay and help. So my morning was great. I was getting a lot of yogurt and shit like that from the store. So it was great. You see, we can't go to our own stores yet. So we get a store here. It is what it is. I go to stores anyway because it's not that strict here at all, not by a long shot. So yeah, my morning is great. I'm just talking about all these people making other people look small, making other people look dumb, while they're just as bad people as the people they talk about. Like, there's no reason for JB Gunner to spit on Coach Eli's grave. That's yeah. Glad to thank you, Two Fly, and I'm glad to hear you have a grateful morning. It must be about 7 o'clock where you at, 7, 8 o'clock. I think I can't be sure. Uh, because it's like it's like oh, you off today? It will be a wonderful day. So it just started with a cup of coffee and shit like that, or what? I just rolled a big bogey, so I'm going over to one of my friends today. I got my day off too, to fly. That's quite a coincidence. I just had to go down and say good morning. That was and everything. It's 6 a.m. Oh, but 12. Oh yeah, that's 4 hours. Sorry, it's 6 a.m. Of course it is. Of course. Yeah. Yeah, it's good to stand up at 6 a.m. That's a manly time, a man time. I always wake up at that time also. Actually, I did go to bed first because I was making music yesterday. I was getting in on a song, and I'm actually writing on Danish this time, in Danish this time. And it's like I'm writing in another fucking language. I never wrote a fucking album in Danish, and the record company they just said, "Match, the new shit is Danish," and I said, "Yeah, so." Yeah, we need you to earn some money. I said, what? They said, we need you to earn some money. And I said, fuck you. They literally meant it. They meant it because it's been so hard for them. And it's weird to say it's been hard for a production team and a studio production team, but they make their money when they make backing tracks for the live concerts, for all the big gigs. You see, they make backing tracks for for the horns and shit like that. So you see, suddenly they weren't making half of what they were used to because all the gigs were closed down. So the first gig I'm going to this summer is Aerosmith. It's gonna be so fucking nice, man. Oh man, it's gonna be nice. But it is what it is, man. Hi, Jones, Riley, man. Good to see you, man. Glad to see you here, man. Always nice. Yeah, Riley's a good dude, man. I just had to pick some cola up, that's my why should a high current come? That's weird, you're right. No, I won't. I don't know shit about this YouTube still. I'm still new to it. Sometimes I take the cam off, sometimes I take the cam on. It's what it is. I have my round glasses, my Harry Potter glasses. Like, I can't come in there. Why does it do that? I don't know why it did that. But it is what it is. No, I was like, I was sitting here this morning, and then, and sorry to JB Gunner, it's got nothing to do with you, JB. Actually, it doesn't. Um, but it do, of course, it's him that's doing it, but there's a lot of other YouTubers that's doing the same shit. You see, actually, I mentioned Tommy Sotomayor because Coach Eli, he is an idiot. I know that. But it's too easy for JB. It's too easy. But it was fun. He made a fun upload. And I saw the one where the kids were throwing stones after. Have you seen that? Have you seen that, Riley? On Two Fly? Oh, you can. I don't think I've seen that, Riley. Yeah, that was funny too. But again, it was fucking funny. It was hilarious. I must say that, and I must admit that it was hilarious. I don't know why, but I was laughing so hard because you see, JB got humor, and that's what I mean. That's why I think it's so easy what he does sometimes. Just smash on another other person. Just you know, uh, it's like, yeah, JB, we know you're good at this shit, you know. You probably roast me because I got nobody in the box and all that shit, you know. It's not what it's about for me. I said, and I mean, it's a hobby job, and it is. Karma coming for the cock. He is a fucking cock. He is a cock. He's a cock saga. That's how Doc would have said it. Cock saga. No, he is a cock. He's a big cock. I'm sorry to say, but he is. And and I look like a cock with these glasses. It's fucking funny. People get their when I bash them one, you know, they get a little fucking. No, I don't go around bash people down. Are you crazy? I'm 50. You're 50. Quit mad. You beautiful well. What the fuck are people listening to these days on YouTube? It's literally weird. No, it's not a job for us. It's not. And but what I mean when I say hobby job, that's the truth. You can't say this is your job because you don't even talk to your manager. You don't talk to your host. You don't talk to your boss who's running YouTube. You're talking to a computer when you're going in. You know what I mean? What I mean is, I don't think JB would hold 2 seconds in the real world. You know what I mean? I'm not bashing him. I'm just saying he can be glad there's a platform like this. Or else he would be fucking chopping wood. That's what I mean. I'm only saying that there's a difference by working amongst other people, with other people, or sit on your own, soup bottoms, uh, one bottom, and and you do your own shit. You make fun of your own. You can do whatever you want on YouTube. That's what I mean. That's not to bash him, but it's the truth. I like JB Gunner. I have nothing against him. The only thing I got against him is the little racism shit. I don't like the racist. I'm not down for that. But I'm not. You can make people think. Um, these people on the other side, the side I don't talk to, they think you can turn around a racist. You can't. A racist is a racist. And they don't talk to people from other parts of the world. They only talk to where they live and people that got the same color as they do. That's racism. They don't talk to black people. They don't talk to other people. They don't talk to Asians. They don't talk to. They are racist, and they're racist everywhere. There's racists in the motorcycle community. There's racists in the gang community. There's racists in the music community. There's racists in the work community. There's racists in every community. Racism is not. It's true. You see, Tommy Sotomayor. You see how he bash people that's not on the same level as he is. And even JB sometimes he get a little too much. I speak sorry, but I speak 7 languages. I play 9 instruments. I have a degree. in social media and shit like not social media, social behavior and shit like that. But to sit and say that I'm better than everybody else, and I'm better than you, I'm better than you, I'm better than you, that don't work in real life. You have to be humble. You come along with being humble. But you don't have to be that humble as Danish people and Canadian people. You don't have to be that humble. You know what I mean? You feeling me? You see, but you are right to fly. You're very right. All the people I'm talking about, they couldn't. Somebody said my all wouldn't stand 5 minutes in the real world. He wouldn't because they wouldn't be their own job. They wouldn't make their own job. See, that's all up in their head that this is a job. That's what they're telling themselves because they're using time on it. But in the real life, if they didn't have that, he would be out hustling because this is a hustle. This is not, if you want to live of this, if you want to be a YouTuber, you got to be a hustler. Sorry to say. Look at those. He got 2,400 subscribers. How? He's stupid as fuck. He's an uneducated fool from an uneducated school. Then you got Factual, who's flip flopping all around, saying stupid things to everybody. He's actually not dumb, but he's speaking his true meaning. But he is dumb because then he said that all Puerto Rican people are like. He is stupid. I found out that he was stupid because you can't. I don't know, but but there is people like you say too fly. We're like two. We're the same in two different bodies. Because I was saying exactly that shit before I was going on. I said that was just like I was begging on the street when I was an alcoholic piece of shit that couldn't get my own beer because I was drinking all my salary up and I didn't get any salary to in the end because please donate to the homeless. It's right. Was what Two Fly says. I was freezing, shaking, doing all that shit, and that was even being fucking, uh, in, in, in being on being on heroin and being on cocaine, being on everything. It does not help. But they are literally hungry. These people. I know for a fact there's people that are hungry. You can literally say, "I don't want to give you money. I want to give you some food." If it's money you don't want to give them. But listen here, the money they need is to get well. It's not to get fucking high. It's not to have a ball. It's to get well, just to have a normal day. The stress you get in your head when you have to make certain amount of money every fucking day, it's so stressful you can't even imagine. So what Two Fly is saying is just so true, fucking true. It's I'm 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 just being humble because it's like that's what I'm here for. You know, talking to new people, finding out that you got something in common with other people from other countries. That's what we need to use. So you know what? Literally, this was made for not YouTube, but internet. That was made for the American Army back in the 40s under the war in the war. So it's been a social. It was a social media platform for the for the soldiers. It was made in the 40s. And I saw an American documentary yesterday about Christopher Columbus's hoax, the biggest hoax in the world. He literally thought that he was in India when he died. He said, "I'm glad I found India." And they was just saying, "Yeah, okay, you found India." And then he literally thought that he was in India. And that's your founding father of America. Read some real books, J.B. Gunner. You don't even check it. You don't do anything. Now you know it's right because now it's all over. Yeah, that is why, Sufla. That is why. And the funny thing is, he literally thought he was in India when he died. That's weird. But he thought, let him, he reached the nearest he was to America, to North America, was actually Mexico. He was not even high up in Mexico. It was way down. It was with the Mayans and the Aztecs and shit like that. So, but people will believe like, and that's why I like to see all these conspiracy theories. Um, and then they found out like literally with proof. Like they've been talking about it, they've been founding some shit from Nordic mythology, but now they found, living places. It was this place called Wineland. Everybody knows this shit, but it was bigger than we exactly. Reality is sometimes hard to swallow. It's a hard thing to eat sometimes. The truth, but the truth is the truth. Um, it is what it is, as a lot of people would say. Because when yeah, that is why, and reality is in the eye of the beholder, and that's very good to write it that way. And I love that sentence. Because reality is, you see here on YouTube, you can make your own reality. That's true. To fly, them gems is written out. Truth is forever. History is not. That's very true. Because you see, history, we evolve so quickly that history is almost being forgotten, and history will die out in time. There's actually a people. I can't remember the word. Um, I forgot it. I knew I forgot it when I was about to talk about it, just because about the history thing. There is a people that only few know about, and they was like ruling the fucking world almost. And they're gone. Nobody know about them. There's a language they can't decipher it. They had some of the best from CIA, from like FBI, and all this shit. They can't. They can't make sense of it. It's like it's not. What the fuck is the language called? It's some of the first humans to be found on this earth. But I can't remember what they're called. So it's kind of ridiculous to sit and talk about them when I don't know what they're called. But it looked like our language, our first language. We had runes. Our language looked like, um, how can I show it? Show. It looked like this. This there, that was runes. They were kind of okay. I don't. Maybe it is Sumerian language. Yeah. Later, Two Fly. Have a great day. Yeah, yeah. You too, Two Fly. Oh, is it the Sumerian? Have a great day, Two Fly. Yeah, you too. Um, I was in the old Sumerian language. Oh, I know Riley will have a great day. He's gonna plant some trees and shit. Okay. What? But what? Were the Sumerians Christians? Or what did they believe in? Of course, it wasn't Christians. What am I talking about? They're before fucking Christ and shit. Yeah. So are they the oldest people they can come to think about? Do you know that, right? Because the people I heard about were some of the oldest people that ever lived. They don't know what happened to them, and they don't know where they went. They don't know. They found some. They were very small. That's kind of funny. That was not. It was not the pygmies, the little people. It was not them. But they're kind of gone too from the history. You know. Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Because you know what? It's I think I saw an American, um, documentary yesterday, and it was very telling about what the how the American people wanted to be Christopher Columbus because there were some kings and shit in there because there were people before. You know, the Vikings was there. It's been proven now. It's been proven, and they don't know how long, how far got down to New York. They don't know how far, but they can't find it. They haven't found anything, so you can't be sure. They found something near Newfoundland. They found a lot, but down over the Canadian border, they actually was in North America. You want the link, Riley? I'm gonna write it down. Wait, I'm gonna write it. I'm gonna write in the chat. Um, I need to write it. Um, Uh, I'm about to write and it's gonna be. Well, I think it was wrong. Wait, yeah, it doesn't it work? Does the link work? It should be the link. Doesn't it work? Wait, I gotta see if that's the link. It is the link. Don't the link work? Um, Link is bad. I'm gonna write it again. Wait. I'm gonna write it. I'm gonna write it again. Oh fuck! Wait. I'm bad at this fucking right, but it should be right. What about now, Riley? I don't get this with this fucking. What? It's good. Okay, come on. Come on, Riley. Motherfucker.
What's up? What's up?
What's up? Sorry, I'm just getting this away. All right, Riley.
On ancient Sumerian? Is that what you want? I can give it to you. I studied it in college for a little while. So
Okay.
this is gonna blow your mind, but this is the damn truth if you believe it or not.
Okay.
People can fact check this shit.
Yeah.
So ancient Samaria was the African um I guess state that had power. The last one that had power. See, all of Africa used to have power. There's pyramids and there's all kinds of stuff across Africa. Africa
I
is
know.
an amazing country. It's a
I've been there.
old country.
Yeah.
The only problem is that the bush people of Africa were low IQ. But the Sumerian people of Africa were very high IQ. So they left the bush people alone and they never fucked with them. And so they developed their culture and history like across the northern parts, across the rainforest area. But
Yeah.
as you know, every 12,000 years, every 12 to 15,000 years, Africa turns a from a desert to a oh fuck, hold on a second.
Yeah. To a very where
Yeah,
there's
they
a
turns
lot of.
from to a wetlands. It turns to a
Yeah.
wetland. This is getting my
Yeah.
nerves. Okay, that's better. I
Yeah.
don't know why my camera's stuck. Turns to a wetland and a rainforest. You know what the difference? The difference in the rainfall per year. It's only like 15 inches. So if it had 15 more inches of rain, it would be a rainforest. But
Oh.
every since the Earth like shifts on its axis slightly back and forth, when it does
Yeah.
that, then it turns to a desert. Okay, so you know the Sphinx and all that is about 12,000 years old, and I want you to think about something. When you look at the Sphinx and you look at all these other statues in
Yeah.
ancient Egypt, where that's where the Sumerian capital was. If you
Oh.
notice, all the noses are removed off the statues.
Yeah.
And the reason why the Europeans did that is because the noses were flat. They had the black nose. And they did not want to give credit to black people for making large structures. And so
Nice.
that's why they knocked the noses off of all those structures. So they could hide the fact that the black people made something amazing like that. Not that I'm some kind of person that goes out there and fights for black rights, because I don't give a shit. That's their battle. But
Yeah.
this is just a simple fact. This is what really happens. So the Sumerian nation was weak anyway because their wetlands, their rainforest had turned back to desert, and they were starving. And at that time, the European and the Middle Eastern people, they were seeing that they were going through a hard time, and they wanted to destroy them. And so what they did was they ganged together. And they went to war and committed genocide and wiped out the Sumerian people across the world. And as you know, Sumerians weren't just in Africa. They were in the Americas. They were in
Yeah.
South America. So the reason why Christopher Columbus went to America, they already knew America was there. It's in the books. But the reason why we lost that information, or you guys don't see it as a modern culture, right, is because you remember back at World War I time,
Yeah.
there was kings and queens. There wasn't government, and that's why the United States went to war with Europe, was to remove all the kings and queens back in World War One.
Yeah.
And established government in all the European countries. Those kings and queens wiped out all the history and rewrote history. And then
True.
when the governments come in, they just used the history that the kings and queens used. Well, the Muslims did the same thing in the Middle Eastern countries, and the Moors did the same thing in Roman and in Italy when the Moors took over Italy for 400 years.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah, yeah.
they burnt the Roman library. They did all that crap. We lost all that history. That's why we don't have like a written history of this for the most part, but only in a few select areas that they have found. And those few books they find, even the modern like school system will not adopt it, even though it's the fucking truth. If that makes sense.
Yeah, it's
They
a
don't
very
teach it in
special.
the schools. They still teach that fucking lie in the schools because it's a liberal agenda. The schools are, the schools create workers. They're not there to create smart people.
Yeah, no, that's true. That's
So
true.
that's why when
That's
people
very,
come out of school, they're the dumbest motherfuckers there is because
yes,
they've been indoctrinated way too much. They have
yeah.
no
That's why
common
I love
sense left.
uneducated schools from uneducated fools.
So they knew America was there. They were actually trading with the Indians. There's proof that there's like items that the Indians would make that the Europeans had for hundreds of years. So trade
Yeah,
had been going on with Americans for a long time. We knew the Vikings had been going, the Norwegians had been going to American trading for a long time. So
yeah,
everybody knew where America was. We found old maps that Europeans had during Christopher Columbus' time that shows America being there. They had mapped it very well. So they knew
yeah,
America was there. The reason
yeah.
why they went there is because Sumerians had a culture that was there, established with American Indian people and a bunch of ports for trading. And they wanted to go over there and kill all those motherfuckers. And
Oh,
Christopher Columbus went
shit.
there to scout out how many more were left and how many more needed to be killed. And that's what he
Oh my
was. He was a
God.
scout to see, how many ports were still over there because they had been going to war with them. And that's why he went to America. He went to America to kill out the rest of the fucking Moors. And if people don't believe this, they can just type into Google
Yeah.
Black American Indians. But you know what
Okay.
happened to the Black American Indians? They slaughtered every one of them. Here,
Okay.
I'll bring up some pictures just so we can, talk accurate
Yeah,
about this.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
People don't believe there was Black American Indians.
I believe that. I believe that.
And yeah, because I mean, there's document proof of it. And the reason why there was Black American Indians because the Sumerians were breeding with American Indians. It's just simple.
Yeah,
And they
yeah.
were here in America. And they had established ports. Here, let me show you something right here. Good. Are you able to? Oh yeah, you can bring people up. Yeah, you can do that. Here, you just bring this up just like you're bringing people up. Okay, go ahead, just bring that to the screen.
Oh, where is it? Is it down here? I
Yeah,
can't see it. I can
just
see it.
just like it was
Whoa!
just like it was somebody to bring up. You just bring
Yeah,
bring that screenshot up. Okay,
I got
so
it.
these are actually Black American Indians. These are really
Yeah,
old pictures.
yeah.
But what these are is these are ancestors of the Sumerian people that had established
Okay.
culture here in America.
Oh shit!
That
That's the
Christopher
people.
Columbus, right? That Christopher Columbus came to America to kill. Yeah.
Oh shit, man.
Well, he was a fucking evil man, Christopher
He
Columbus.
was very evil. I've heard a lot
Uh,
about that yesterday. The Aztecs
yeah,
were so afraid of him, and the Mayans were very afraid of him.
yeah,
Oh, is that Black Indians?
yeah. These are all
Samaritan?
black. These are all Black American Indians.
Oh, beautiful, man.
Uh,
Beautiful.
it's crazy, ain't it?
It's crazy, man. It's crazy. So, I love when Crown Key and people like that come up and speak some truth because, a lot of people don't know the truth. They don't. And
So in 50, what was it? I think it was 1600. No, it was 1500. In 1500, they went to South America, right?
yeah.
And there was thriving cultures there. And the guy went back to Europe and said, "Look at all these people in South America." By the 1700s, they were all gone. There was something like they believe like 15 million people living in South America and culture there, and that were wiped out. And they said it was from smallpox, but I'm telling you, they went down there. Europeans went down there and killed them all.
Yeah.
That's why the Spanish were in that area so heavy. The Spanish went there and slaughtered their asses. to get rid of them because
It
that
sounds, man.
yeah.
You know,
There was a
it,
world war. The first world war was against the Sumerians, and if
it
people want
was.
to believe that or not,
How long time are we talking? How long back?
this war was in the happened during the 13 to 1500s.
Okay,
It lasted
shit.
for around 200 years.
That's just after the Viking Age, you know.
Yeah, that was when the boating age got really good.
Yeah. Because the Viking boats was very good, and then they perfected these boats, and
Yep.
I just saw a real Viking boat yesterday in a museum here in Denmark, and that's why I was into it yesterday a lot, because I was there yesterday, and it was in Roskilde. I was playing there the day before, so I saw this ship that is the only ship that they put together by real Viking tree. So it's like it's so you can't stand very close to it. It's like when they found like relics of dinosaurs and that you have to stand away from it.
Right.
Well, you couldn't touch the boat or anything, but you can see it. It was beautiful.
And
It was
that
beautiful.
and that was one of the reasons why they were so hard against American Indians because they were just
Yeah,
used to they just had a culture of just wiping out civilizations.
yeah.
Do you know why they killed all the buffaloes in America?
Was
It was to
I've
starve the
heard,
American Indian people.
I've just heard it, but I can't
Uh,
remember it now.
It was to
So talk.
starve the American Indian people so they wouldn't
Yeah,
have
I
the
heard
food
that.
source.
I didn't
Yeah,
know if that was true. That's why I didn't
yeah,
want to say it, but I've heard
yeah.
that.
I-
That's
It
why
was
you just took the skin and let the meat rotten. Yeah,
And well, it's also one of the reasons why in most European islands, like Greenland and other places, and Iceland and other places like that, there was no trees left because when they went to war with each other, they would go and cut down all the trees on the other islands just
true,
to starve out those people.
true.
They were known for doing that. Europeans were known for like brutal acts of just wiping out whole sections of things
We were
just to
the
starve their
evil
people out.
motherfucker. We were the evil. We were the evil of the humanity. We were the white people of Europe, the Scandinavian people. We were only there to rule, rape, do violence, come home, and have 30 slaves. That was normal per household in Scandinavia.
I believe it. And you got to think back then, trees.
And that
Trees
was
were
white
the
slaves.
biggest
Let me say
commodity.
that. That was not black slaves. That was white slaves. That was slaves
Yeah,
from their own country.
that's right. There was three commodities back in the old world. Trees were number one. Trees were the oil of the old world. The old world trees were the oil. They used them for boating. They used them to make wagons. They used them for everything, chariots, everything. So that's why you have like Easter Island that all the trees got wiped off of it and their people died out. It wasn't because the Eastern Island people did it. It was because the Europeans went over there and cut all their damn trees down, took them all, and starved their people out.
What are you saying about these sculptures there is on the Easter Island? What do you think there is? Is that some kind of a person, or is it a god, or what do you think
I
it
don't
is?
know. I mean, we destroyed their whole written language.
Yeah, we did.
Believe it or not, if somebody can build a statue and carve it like that, a 3D statue and carve it, that's a very hard thing to do. Is to create that something out of stone in 3D,
Uh,
because you have to chisel it from the beginning like you're going to make it, right?
yeah,
So if you can do that, you have a written language. I mean, written language
yeah,
would be
of
much
course.
easier than to chisel something in a 3D fashion.
It was
So
something beautiful 3D, but it was 3D fashion. It was, and
yeah,
I said it was most beautiful. It was
it was
way more
symmetrical
beautiful.
too.
Yeah.
It wasn't like it was oddly. It wasn't like it wasn't symmetrical. So even though it wasn't like beauty to our eyes because it looked plain. It was their god or whatever it was to them.
Yeah.
But it was symmetrical and it
It
was
was.
nicely done,
It
smooth.
was. It was.
Yeah,
Actually, where I live, there's a group that's called the Easter Islands group. They have them outside in
yeah.
in small statues. They made them in tree. They're very good made. I was like, who made that? I
If it
wanted one.
if it wasn't for India, we wouldn't know this shit. India is the only country that saved their written language for over 2,000 years.
Yeah, and
China
yeah,
took out theirs. The Moors that were between Russia took out theirs, destroyed all their old. They people see whoever wins the war rewrites history. They wipe
yeah.
out the history from the people prior and they write it the way they want. So Russia has wiped out all their ancient history. The Moors that sat between Russia and China wiped out all their ancient history. China wiped out all their ancient history. Europeans have wiped out all their ancient history. Middle Eastern, the Muslims, they're still doing it today, wiping out all history. And when they take over an area, they destroy all the museums, all the books, and everything, and put their own stuff into practice. And that's their right if they take over the country. I guess it's just,
You
I
you
think it's
saw what they
ignorant.
did in Afghanistan when they had the biggest Buddhas ever,
Mhm. That's right.
and they just blew them away.
And since all these cultures have destroyed all this history and all this written history, we don't have any written history from the ancient times because of that,
Right.
except for India. And so that's why we know a lot of this information, because India was recording it, because they were trading with everybody and they knew what was going on, and they were recording all this information, and that's how we get this information about the Sumerians and everything going on at that time.
And I think the Sumerian people is a very interesting subject. I think it's so interesting. They don't know where they are. They don't know what happened to them. Do they not? Do they
Yeah,
know
they
what they
know
have?
what happened to them. They were murdered. The
Murder.
Europeans and the Middle Easterns went to war against them and committed genocide because they were the dominant ruling people of the earth at that time.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
since they were going through a hard time because their land had gone from a rainforest back to a desert, they decided at that point just to go ahead and just wipe them out.
That is so sad.
It
You
is
know what I
sad.
mean? If they had the real scriptures, you know what I mean? They could have had some golden points we wouldn't see today, you know?
And that's why all you have left in Africa is the bush people.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, the really, really high IQ'd people that built all the infrastructure in Egypt, they're
Yeah.
gone. And did you know that those people are extremely, extremely tall people? They were the Sumerians were extremely tall people. They were well over 6 foot apiece, 6 to 7 foot.
What?
Yeah.
Oh
Uh,
shit, I thought they were small.
no, 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 no. There's some patches of them still over there. There were some of the bush people that had mated with the Sumerians, and
Yeah.
they retain a lot of the genes of the Sumerians, and they're all almost 7 foot tall.
Yeah, I don't know how many centimeters that is, but I know it's well over 2 meters.
Oh, here we go. I'll convert it for you real quick. 213.
213. That's a lot. That's a lot. That's high. That's tall.
Yeah, it's
That's
it's
being very tall. You know, I know a guy who's 217. That's weird, but he's so tall. We just call him 217.
so in California, the average
Yeah.
person is over 6 foot.
Oh.
So yeah, that in California, people are really tall. Every time I go to California, I'm always blown away because there were so many like pro athletes and so many like models and so many people
Oh.
with the really tall genes that had
Yeah.
moved to
Yeah.
California. That when I go to California and I'm a 5'9" guy, I'm average height in my area. I'm actually like there's a lot of people a lot shorter than me. Like my brother-in-law is only 5'3", and my sister's
Yeah.
only 4'11", and so people are short where I'm from. But when I go to California, I'm like one of the shortest people. It's crazy. Even the women are
But
taller than me.
imagine with all these models and all these, as you say, basketball players,
Right.
NFL players, all these athletes, even if they're just, runners, it doesn't matter what they are as athletes. They're tall anyway, even tennis players are tall these days, it's, it's like
So
for the big people, the tall, the strong. But I'm not saying that smaller people can't be strong. We can be just as winning and just as strong and just as punching. You see, Mike Tyson was just 180, 87 or something. Um, he was a good boxer, I might say, back in the days.
Oh
He
yeah, no,
was,
yeah. He was only 1 inch taller than me. And
yeah,
but what made Mike Tyson famous? Oh, I mean, not famous, excuse me. So powerful. He had
yeah,
that one punch. He would
yeah,
drop down almost to the ground and squat, and he would come up with an uppercut with all his power, and he would use his feet to give him the
yeah,
power with this uppercut, and he would
yeah.
slap and knock you the out.
Fall down.
Yeah, I boxed back in the 90s, early
Oh,
2000s, and I loved Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson was, I really looked up to him.
yeah.
But he, gosh dang, he had so much anger. His anger ruled him, and of course, it caused him a lot of problems too. But he was able to take that anger and just put it to pure power, and that was just amazing how he did that. Very
Yeah,
angry
yeah.
guy. He was a very angry guy in life
He
for a long time.
was, and now he's such a he's all that weed and all that mushrooms and all that shit he's into. That's kind of weird, you know. It's
I think he has to do it in order to keep his anger down. I saw him on
yeah.
a podcast one time with Eminem, and he went nuts on Eminem. I thought he was going to hurt Eminem.
Oh, and that hot boxing or what?
Yeah, just no, he just got mad at Eminem for some weird reason. And Eminem was being real nice to him. And Eminem was like, dude, you've
I've
been my
seen that.
hero. And Eminem was like, you've been my hero. And I guess he
Yeah,
didn't like, I guess he thought Eminem was coming off like cucky or gay to him. And he just got fucking furious. He
he
talked
didn't
about
even
how
look
he
at
wanted
his,
to fucking kill Eminem and shit, you know?
yeah. I don't think you should fuck with Mike Tyson. I just think you should
I
leave
know,
him.
man. I would not be okay if that dude get mad at me. He's so much
I said,
anger.
don't get mad. Don't get mad.
Yeah.
Relax. Oh,
So they talked
okay.
about they need to teach about money management instead of false truths about our history.
Yeah.
Here's what I'd tell you. You know, nobody wants to be preached to about their money.
No.
So that's what I'll tell you about that. People in the chat.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. No one, because people were after Mike Tyson because he used his money very wrong. They said, and but it's his money.
Oh, he's made it back. You know, he
Yeah,
he
I
he's
know he's
made
back.
he's made $1 billion in his lifetime and lost it and made it back. You know,
Yeah.
it's amazing. Like, what is his net worth? Mike Tyson's net worth. Let's see. I'm sure he has at least his net worth 3 million. So it's like he doesn't have to work. He just does his podcast and he makes good money. You know.
Yeah, 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 yeah. That's
So
about 3 million. That's a lot. That's about
I
almost
mean, how
30
much
million.
more do you need? You know.
You don't need more. You don't
No,
need
you
more.
don't need more.
That's about 10 million crowns, and he still works. That means he's still getting money in. That's just what he has in the bank.
Mike Tyson went back to his where he grew up and helped and spent a lot of his money helping that neighborhood, helping those people get out of poverty, doing a lot for his community where he came, setting up
I
like
know. Yeah.
rec centers and like people talk about he threw away his money. Well, he did some of it, but a lot of it he helped the community where he came from. So
Oh, you just had some new subscribers because there was Remy and there was Bonnie Keeley. They like what you said about the Sumerians and shit like that. Because Remy,
thank you.
he loves history and especially about I think I don't know where he's from, but he's of course American, but he's got another culture behind him. I don't know quite where he's from, but I know he loves to hear about Africa, and shit like that. He loves all kind of informations, and people when they don't get information, they get blown away when they hear about it.
Yeah, I
Um,
I think one of the biggest loss, in the last 1,000 years was the destruction of all the ancient culture history
yeah,
that we lost. We lost
yeah,
so much, man.
yeah. That's that, and they've been going after art. They've been going at artifacts and all that shit.
Yeah.
And it's stupid. Why ruin a piece of history where we could have learned so much? And maybe there's something they don't want us to know. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe there were people that were closer to God. I don't know.
I
I
think
don't
it's
know.
just about controlling what the narrative is
Yeah,
in the current situation, and it's so important to them to control every aspect of a narrative, that they cannot even have old history. Old history is offensive to them because it's differs from the narrative they currently want.
yeah, yeah,
It's sad, isn't it?
yeah. It is sad. It is sad. I was just, I was just thinking when you said it. I was just, yeah,
And
it's
I
sad.
get that the older cultures were brutal. You're right, man. You can talk about the
What?
Danish people being brutal. The men were like they were gladiators, and they were just warriors, and they did
Yeah,
brutal
there was
acts.
all over the world. I think it was
Yeah.
not the only Vikings. It was also the Indians were like quite good hunters. And sorry, I said Indians. I mean the natives.
Well, they were. Even
Because
the Indians, they were very brutal people. They did not play. It wasn't like today where people were weak and civilized. But we
you
need to
know,
remember that. We need to remember what happened back then. It's important, but
yeah, we need to remember Greenland. We destroyed Greenland like American destroyed, like the white destroyed the natives in America. We destroyed our natives. We did that. We
yeah,
destroyed the Greenlandic people. We destroyed them. And of course, they have their own. It's still Danish, and the Queen loves it. That's good. But the Queen has nothing to say in Denmark. She's just a picture. You know what I mean?
right. She's just a political figure. She's just a yeah, a political figure. That's it. Somebody
It,
who
that's how it is. She's just. I don't know how she got to be. But actually, if they didn't have the Danish queen, there wouldn't be an English queen either. So it is what it is. It's the
interesting.
same fucking family. It's so sad, but it is what
It
it is.
is. That whole family that is in London was the
Yeah,
same family that was all over Europe ruling,
yeah. It's the
and that's
same
why they
fucking
removed
blood.
them. Yeah,
You know why we have a queen and not a king? Because the king was so ugly. He was calling fucking Olaf. And he was the ugliest motherfucker I ever have seen on this planet. And people said, and he was low IQ as fuck because the inbreed. You know what I mean? By the
right.
royals. So they took him away.
That's funny,
They
isn't
gave
it?
him some castle down, down in Jutland, some place. And then they said the queen, we're going to take a queen in as the king. Oh, okay. They never done that before. So they did it because her brother was like inbreed. That's
That's
weird.
no, it's funny. It's really
Yeah, it
funny.
is funny. We laugh at it all the time when we see
Yeah.
him in magazines and shit. We say, "Oh, thank God, he's not the king," because he's still in fucking magazines and shit. Because people knows this. People know this. It's out there. It's not even a secret.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to look that up just to see the brother,
Sorry,
what he
he's
looks
called
like.
Ingolf. He's called
Ingolf.
Count Ingolf. Count
Count.
Ingolf. Look that up. Count Ingolf of Denmark. He's yeah, but I've got to go, Riley. I have to. I just saw that it was 1 o'clock here, so I will take it down, and I
Oh,
will.
he is ugly. He is something special with them. Boy, look at his teeth. Good Lord. He can't even fit them all in his mouth. Shit.
He was about to be our king. What the fuck?
He can't even close his mouth, man. Oh, it's bad. All right, brother. You take it easy.
Take it easy, Riley. Peace. Thank you. Thank you for Riley being here. It was great having Riley up here, and it's great to have people up here. Just come up here, and Remy, another time. It would be great to see you. Hey, Bunny, it was great, and thank you, Riley. You made my day, man. Now I'm in good mood. Have a good time, people. Peace.